Good morning, everyone. So I think for today's class, we're going to, you just need a tissue actually for the breathing exercise. We're going to do it first, and maybe your bricks. This class is focusing on flow, dynamic flow, and core. It will be energetic, but don't worry, I always give modifications and just do as much as you can in whatever way that the practice works for you. Again, yoga is something that works for your body, not you trying to work for yoga. So let's come to our mat. And we're going to just sit down. You can sit on a brick if you'd like, or on a pillow. We're going to be here for a couple of minutes. And we're going to start with a breathing exercise called Kapalabhati. It means shining skull, and it works on the diaphragm. The diaphragm is this, if you don't know, and I'm not a doctor, but I do know that it is a sort of dome-shaped muscle at the bottom of the thoracic area, and it obviously is integral in helping us to breathe and to get oxygen into our lungs, which supports all of our bodily functions and organs. It also helps with something I learned, which I didn't know. When you have hiccups, it's your diaphragm convulsing. And but anyway, it also helps with digestion, helps you pee, helps you poo, and helps you vomit, and helps to drain lymphatic fluids and with circulation. So it's a very important muscle that we want to keep active and healthy. I'll go through that, but let's start by getting quiet and closing our eyes. Bring your hands to your knees, hands down, palms down or up, whichever way you're feeling today. Close your eyes, come to your breath through the nose, both on the inhalation and the exhalation. Quiet your mind. And if you'd like to set an intention for this class, do so now. So shining skull, Kapalabhati breathing with dragon breath afterwards. We're going to start, it's a continuous breathing process, so I'll get you going and then you can do it on your own. We're going to be breathing short little breaths through the nose that we're going to be using the diaphragm to pump the little breaths out. So it's sort of like, and I'm inhaling, exhaling very quickly, and I'm pumping the diaphragm. I'll turn sideways so you can see. Coming forward, sort of closing in on, and pressing all the breath out as I come forward. When I get to the end of the breath, I inhale deeply. Then I'm going to stick my tongue out wide, fire breath, and then inhale again, start the pumping. Inhale deeply, fire breath, getting all the breath out that you can, and then inhaling deeply and continuing like that. So this is why you need the tissue, because my sinuses are already doing their work. So preparatory breath in through the nose, begin to pump. On empty, inhale deeply, fill up, dragon breath. Inhale deeply, pump. Inhale. Lion breath. I think it's lion, not dragon, whatever. Inhale and pump again. Tongue out. Inhale deeply, really bouncing on that diaphragm. Tongue out. Do a couple more of these at your own pace. Inhale. And wherever you are in the series, just finish up. Come to center, keep your eyes closed. Blow your nose if you need to. Enjoying the sensations of this energizing, invigorating breathing practice. When you're ready, keep the eyes closed. Let's drop the head, do some neck circles. Inhale to your right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, getting to the top. And now exhaling down to the other side. Relax your shoulders. Make sure your jaw is nice and relaxed again. Inhale. Checking your neck. Seeing how it feels today. And exhaling down the other side. Check those shoulders. Keep them down and relaxed. Again, inhale. Nice big wide circle. And exhale. Now let's go the other way. Inhale. Space between your teeth to keep the jaw out of it. Inhale. Nice big wide circle. Just noticing how you feel on this side, going this way. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Coming to center. Let's shrug our shoulders. Let's loosen things up. Interlock your fingers. Let's do some finger and wrist rolls. Get the elbows and the shoulders involved. Nice big loops. Go the other way. Shake it out. Bring your left hand in front of you. Grab your 4 fingers with the other 4 fingers. And then straighten the elbow, pulling the fingers back. This should feel good, so don't overstretch here, but we're just getting a nice stretch in the top of the forearm. And breathe. Shake it out. Now grabbing the thumb with the 4 fingers, straightening the arm with the palm facing up, getting it different stretch. Relax the shoulders and your jaw here. Gently release, shake it out. Other hand, again, grabbing the 4 fingers with the other 4 fingers, the elbow bent. Now lift the elbow, finding your stretch. Gently pulling back on the fingers and breathe. I've been doing a lot of gardening this week, so this feels really good. And release. And now the thumb. Gently pulling back, finding your stretch, breathing through it. Noticing the difference. My left arm is definitely, I'm using my left, I'm mirroring you, definitely sore than the other one. Release and stretch. Let's bring the fingers in front of you with the fingers facing towards your body. Your palms are up, and we're going to just gently lean into the fingers. That we're not trying to touch the hand the whole way to the floor, just getting a nice stretch in this forearm region. And breathe. Shake it out. Now bring the backs of the hands, same thing. Pressing down into the fingers, just finding a stretch in the wrists, maybe in the top of the forearms. And release. Shake it out. Extend one leg, bring the other leg and cross it over if it's available to you. If it's just too tight to do that, you can also just have your foot by the side of your body. But if you are, make sure that your ankle is free to do some ankle circles. You can use your hand or just let it roll. Just rolling the ankle. I know a few of you have issues with your feet, toes, arches, ankles. So just doing some circles here. Go one way and go the other way. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Take your fingers, placing them between the toes if that works for you. If it doesn't, don't worry. Do what you can. Spreading the toes out nice and wide. Maybe some circles. Whatever feels good. Then taking the fingers out, press the toes forward just to stretch them up. Make sure you're getting the pinky toe in there too. And then pulling back on the toes. Stretching the top of the foot. And then let's just using our thumbs or maybe even your fist, the knuckles in your fist, give yourself a little foot massage, just whatever feels good. I like to go along the arch of the foot with my knuckles. That feels good. Pressing in at the above the heel in the soft spot and up in the middle below the toes, maybe pulling each toe and wiggling it around, just giving your feet a little love. It feels so good, doesn't it? All right, shake that one out. Let's do the other foot. Now bring the other leg up. And again, we're just going to start with some nice and easy rolls. Really try to focus on making rolls with the ankles, going the other way. Nice and big, getting into the range of motion. And then taking the fingers, pressing them between the toes if you can, stretching the toes out, maybe moving them around a little bit. And taking the fingers out, pressing the toes forward to stretch them up, making sure you get the pinky in there too. Pulling back on the toes to stretch them down. And then a little massage on this foot as well, using the thumbs if you'd like, or the knuckles of your hands. Sometimes a spiky ball is nice to use. You can find these at most sporting goods or even probably someplace like Target or whatever. Get your toes, and rolling that around on the foot sometimes helps. And let's shake it out. Bringing the feet together. Let's just do some butterflies. So the feet together, or, as close together as you can. Your hands on your toes. And let's just lightly flutter our knees, opening up the hips. And breathe. Nice and tall in the spine. If you can't touch your toes, you don't have to. You can grab whatever you grab. It's about the hips here, so it doesn't matter. And then let's cross the feet. Coming back into our seated position and moving the skin away from my hip bones. Inhale, bring the arms up, reaching, finding that stretch, digging down with the hips so that we're rooted in, and then slowly come forward, keeping the length in the spine. So simultaneously reaching forward till the hands come to the floor, and then pressing back with the hips into the floor, finding your stretch. Keep your gaze forward. We don't want to curve the spine here. We're finding length. So pressing in the hips, reaching forward, maybe inching forward a little bit, and finding that stretch in the mid and lower back. Breathe. And when you're ready, walk the hands back forward. Coming onto all fours. We're going to just do some cats and cows. So with our hands under our under our shoulders, knees under our hips, drop the belly looking up as we inhale, exhale, pressing through the hands, pulling the core in towards the spine and pressing the spine up. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. Exhale, flexing up. Moving with the breath, flexing that spine. Hips up, exhale, pressing down. Inhale, dropping the belly, looking up. Now this time, let's tuck the toes. And as we press back, exhale into our cat. Let's press back and stretch, find a nice stretch. Keep the cat as you come back to center. Relax the belly, looking up. Let's do a few of these. So inhale, cat. Exhale into our stretch. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, drop the belly and looking up. Inhale. Few of these. On your next one, let's press into cat. Find our stretch back. When you come back to center with your toes tucked, let's lift the knees, coming into bear. Engage your core. Bring the knees down, coming into cow. So now it's cow, cat, cat stretch, bear, core, knees down, and do a few of these. So cow, cat with the breath. Exhale, cat stretch. Inhale, come to center. Bear, knees down. Starting to work the core into our practice today. Let's do one more. Stretch. Come to center. Strong arms, lift those knees. And come to center. Now, staying on our hands and knees, we're going to do some bird dogs. We've done these in many of our classes with our hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. We're going to lift the right hand, reaching forward, kick out with the back leg. Goal is to keep the back of the back flat, as though you had something balancing on it. Continue to breathe here and hold. And then gently down. Let's do the other side. Same thing. Working these transverse muscles, working on our back, our stability, hip. Gaze is forward. Continue to breathe. And let's come down. One more set. Inhale, the right hand, left leg, kick out that back heel. Don't let that hip twist over. Glass of water on your back doesn't spill over and down. Let's do the other side. Keep it nice and stable as you switch. Very carefully and breathe. And down. Now, staying in this position, we're engaging your core. So really working the core muscles. Let's walk the hands out as far as you can. Engage the core as you're doing so. Maybe don't go real far at first because you have to come back. So just play with it. Maybe just take a couple of steps, hand steps forward at first. Engage that core. See how that feels. Walking back. If that feels all right, add another step. Engage your core. And back. Strong arms. One more. Again, for some of you, maybe it's just barely moving the hands. That's okay. That's where you start. You don't want to overdo it. Just enough that you can feel your core muscles working. Okay. Let's spread our knees, come into our child position. You can have your hands around your legs or in front of you, whatever feels good. Use whatever bricks or blankets you need here. And let's take a few breaths to relax. Relax the neck and the shoulders. Let the hips fall heavy towards the floor. Feeling the breath rise and fall in the back of the body. Maybe one more breath. On your next inhalation, let's bring the hands forward, tuck your toes, and come into downward facing dog with our feet about hip width apart, hands are about shoulder width apart. Spread your toes, spread your fingers, press those hips up to the air, breathe. Shake the head out, yes and no. Wiggle the hips if you'd like. Walk your dog, stretch out those legs. Couple of breaths here. Pressing strong hands, pressing the whole way from the fingertips to the heels, the whole length of the back of the body. And on your next breath, let's soften the knees. Walk the feet to the front of our mat, coming into Uttanasana, our forward fold. Release the head. You come up onto your fingertips or use a brick if you need. Bend the knees so that your hands can touch the floor. When you're ready, come up halfway onto the fingertips, finding space, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, release down into your fold again. Engage your core, press to the heels, bring the arms up to the sky, reach, and then hands to your heart. Take a moment here with your eyes closed and breathe. Moving into our dynamic flow today. Let's drop the hands and open the eyes. Your feet are going to be about hip width apart. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. Inhale, exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Keeping that length, hands come to the floor, soften the knees if needed. Inhale, coming up onto your fingertips and looking forward. Exhale, release deeper into the fold. Inhale, hands come to the floor. We're going to step back with the right foot, then step back with the left foot, coming back down into downward facing dog for 3 breaths here. Inhale.
And exhale, releasing all tension in your neck. Inhale for 2. And exhale. Inhale for 3. And exhale. On your next inhale, let's take the right leg up to the sky. Point the toe, find that length, bend the knee, and drop the foot to over the left hip. If this is too strong, just stay in your down dog, or you can even go into chow. Opening that hip to the side. And breathe. Scorpion leg dog. Now straighten the leg, bend the knee, and bring the leg forward and place it onto the mat so that the knee is in front and to the outside of your torso. Foot is angled to the side, the other side of the mat. My back leg is extended behind me. Now, if you're pretty much there, but this hip keeps rolling forward, you can put a brick underneath that hip to support it. If this pose is not working at all for you, you can bend the back leg and come into a somewhat side saddle position so you can play with that. If you're good, otherwise, let's walk the hands out and come into our pigeon pose. Bring the head either to the floor, or if you need to put a blanket or a brick under the head to support the head, that's fine as well. It's a very strong opening pose. Breathing. When you're ready, lift the head and walk the hands up towards the knees. Let's take with our hands on fingertips. Let's walk the hands towards the forward knee for a little twist here. Keep your chin up, gaze forward, finding a nice twist there. Walk back to center. You can walk the hands to the other side, finding a twist in the other side of the body. And breathe. Gaze forward. Coming back to center. One final twist we can do, or thing we can do here. Tucking the back toe and lifting the knee up, finding a nice stretch. If this is available to you, this back leg, I'm lifting the knee up. It helps to get to that sort of hard to reach psoas muscle that is the culprit of a lot of low back pain. And breathe, and then down. Now, keeping that toe tucked, we're going to press through the hands, come back, bring the back leg up to meet, and come back into our downward facing dog. We're going to do the other side now. So wiggle it out a little bit here. Take a couple of breaths. Again, this is a little strong for some of you. You may need to just, put the knees down, rest, do whatever. Do as much of it as you can. Now we're going to take the left leg up behind us, point to the sky, bend the knee, and drop that foot now behind the other hip, opening that hip to the opposite side for a scorpion dog. Strong arms here. Coming back to center. Extend the leg, bend the knee, bring it forward, and come into our pigeon now on the other side, using whatever modifications, again, you need for your pigeon, either bending the back leg so that you're in more of a side saddle position, using a brick for the head, putting a brick under the forward hip, and breathe.
Breathing into the tension, breathing into anything that needs to be released. When you're ready, lift your head, walk the hands in towards the body. If you would like, walk the fingertips to the outside of the forward knee, gazes forward, finding a stretch in the right side of the body. I've got my left knee forward, twist rather, and then walking the hands forward. Try the other side, twisting to the other way. And then coming back to center. Now, if you would like, you can tuck that back foot, lift that knee, finding your stretch. Again, this is a strong stretch that comes right into that psoas muscle that connects your leg to the spine. Is often tight, causing a lot of sort of mysterious back pain. You can't figure out what it is. So this is one muscle you might find on one side. Definitely is tighter for me than the other. And you can release it. Now, keeping your back toe bent, on your toe, and pressing through the hands, we're going to come back up to downward facing dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. You can come up on your toes if you'd like. Do whatever you'd like. Inhale, looking underneath each armpit. And exhale. Wiggle your hips. Strong fingers. Spread those fingers as you inhale for 3. Press through the tops of the hands. Inhale for 4. And exhale. Final breath. Inhale for 5. And exhale for 6. Inhale and begin to walk your feet to the front of the mat, coming into our forward fold. Inhale, coming up onto the fingertips, halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, engage your core. Press through the heels. Arms rise as you hinge up to standing. Bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes and let's take a couple of resting breaths. When you're ready, you can release the arms down to your side. Open your eyes. Inhale, reaching up to the sky, finding space. Exhale, keeping that length as we hinge from the hips down to the floor. Soften the knees, coming into our forward fold again. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway, finding length, maybe a little more stretch, and exhale down, keeping the knees nice and soft here. Inhale, bring the hands to the floor, step back with the left foot this time. Exhale with the right foot and come into our downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Inhale, shake the head out, yes and no, and exhale. Spread those fingers wide and press through the palms of the hand. And exhale for 2. Inhale for 3. And exhale. Now this time, let's bring the hands and walk the hands to the back of the mat so that your hands are coming back to meet the toes. Release the head. We're going to do a sort of fun pose called Padahastasana, where you put the hands under the feet so that the palms and the soles of your feet are
touching together as a sandwich. Sort of an interesting circular connection of the hands to the feet. And you, of course, soften the knees if needed. And breathe. On your next breath, you can release the hands. Engage your core now. Press through the heels. Hinge up to standing. Hands come to heart. Now we're standing at the back of the mat. Bring your hands now to your hips. We're going to step forward with the left foot and come into a lunge. So drop that back knee. We're into a lunge. Bring both hands inside of the forward foot. And you can wiggle around here and find your position. But so it's foot, hand, hand in the front here. My ankle is under my knee. My knee is not forward of my ankle. Now you can stay here. We're working into our lizard. You can stay here in this position, or you can lift the back knee, coming into our full lizard pose. This is, again, getting into that psoas stretch. And if you need to drop the knee, that's fine. Stay here for a couple of breaths. If this is fine and you're very good, you can try going a little deeper, coming down onto the forearms. Very strong stretch here. And lifting that back leg, looking forward. Now taking the middle appendage, I guess it's your left arm. I have my left foot forward, sweeping it up to the sky for a major stretch here. And then down. Pressing through both hands, we're going to bring the foot back, walk the hands to the back of the mat. And this time, let's grab our elbows and come into a waterfall uttanasana. Keep your knees nice and soft here. Just sort of hang. When you're ready, release your elbows. Engage your core, press to the heels, hinge up to standing, hands to your heart. Now this time we're going to step out with the, let's step out with the left leg again. No, we did the left side, excuse me. I got to change position here so you can see me. So we're going to step out with the right leg, bring the left knee down, hands come to the floor. Again, both hands are beside my forward foot. I have my right foot forward, so my right hand is beside it. Coming into our lizard, you can stay here. This may be strong enough. Enough of a stretch. Again, feeling free to wiggle around. If you'd like, tuck the back toe, lift that back toe, or back knee rather. Coming into our lizard pose, gaze is forward. Breathe, allowing the hip muscles to relax and the hips to sink down into our lizard. If you'd like, and it's available to you, you can drop onto the forearms. Keeping that back knee up. And your gaze forward. Coming back onto the hands, if you're not there already, taking the inner hand and sweeping up for a twist. Keeping that back leg up. And then bringing the hands down. Bring the foot back down, back to meet the other one. Let's come into our downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Shake it out, shake out your neck. Strong work. Press through the hands. And breathe. Inhale for 2. and exhale. Inhale for 3 and exhale. Inhale, let's just bring the knees down and come onto our side. Let's do a little bit of seated work, floor work. So coming onto your forearm and bend your knees, spread, first of all, spread your hands so that your fingers are spread, your elbows under your shoulder. Can bend the knees. We're going to be doing some hip lifts here. So you have some options. You can keep both knees bent in front of you. You can keep the bottom one bent, extend the top one. If you are feeling confident about your hip strength, you can extend both legs. I'll try both. Well, I like having my top leg straight. Inhale, we're going to lift the hip, come up onto that under leg, hold, breath, and down. Again, inhale up, hold, and down. I'm kind of going to do one of each. Inhale up, hold, and down. Now, same, whatever leg position you're comfortable with, let's lift up and hold. Now, this time we're going to thread that other arm under the needle, and then up, thread, and up, thread, and up, and down. Turning your, now this time bring both knees bent if you're not in that position already, and turning your body so that you are placing your forearms on the mat in front of you. Press through the hands, lift the hips, and down. Lift the hip, and down. Lift, and down. Let's do one more. Lift, and down. Now this time we're going to lift, but bring that, take your top arm, bring it back, bend the elbow, and then reach forward over the forward arm, back. So we're doing both a lift as well as a twist. If you have to bring the hips down in between, do 4 or 5 of these, nice and slow, and down. Let's turn over to the other side. Now we're on the other forearm. Take it easy with these. Do as many as feels comfortable. You can always watch the video again this week and build up. So again, with whatever knee position, either both knees bent, top knee straight, or both legs straight, hand elbow is under your shoulder, fingers are spread. We're going to lift the hips, bring the arm up, and hold. Gaze is forward and down. One more time, lift up and hold. Inhale and down. Now we're going to do the threading. So up and thread, up and thread, up, thread, up, thread. Now bring both knees in front of you somewhat. Turn the forearms so that they're facing the front of the mat. And we're going to press through the hands, lift the hips, engage your core, and down. Hip lifts and down. Hip lift, down. Let's do one more. Lift the hips and down. Now we're going to add the arm. Hip lift, elbow back, and stretch, and back, and stretch, back, crossing over that front arm, nice and slow, and down. Come onto, let's come onto our knees. Press up into downward facing dog. Just a breath here.
Exhale, soften the knees. Walk to the front of the mat, coming into our forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale down. Inhale, engage your core. Press to the heels. Hands rise to the floor or out to the sky. And bring your hands to your heart. And take a moment here with your eyes closed or just gently softened, and breathe. And release. You can let your hands come down. So let's see how much time we have left here. Okay. Couple of fun things here today. A little dancing. So, but balance work as well. So we're going to take a wide jump. I'm standing sideways on my mat. I'm going to take a big jump over, but lightly, and balance on one foot. Then take another big bounce over. And the goal is to try not to touch. If you have to touch, then you have to touch. But the point is to take a nice wide step on the toes. Whoop, too hard. And just slowly jump from side to side. It is harder than it looks. And someday your balance sucks. And that's okay. Now, once you have that sort of going, you could do it faster. Laughing is encouraged, but not so much because you'll lose your balance. And play with that. Keeping it on your toes. We're not stomping. Keep it light. Okay. All right. Now, we all know how to sort of side twist with our feet and our heels. These are all things for your feet too that we're working on here, and ankles. Okay, so everybody's good with that, right? Now let's slow it down. And as we twist, let's lift the heels and twist. Then lift the toes and twist. Lift the heels, down, lift the toes, down, and play with it that way. A little more challenging. I have to use the arms to get it going. And the slower you do it, obviously, the harder it is. Because you're using more muscles in the toes and the ankles to keep your balance. So something to play with this week. It's definitely something you can do in your daily life, standing around waiting for a pot to boil or something. And you can work on your ankles, your toes, your feet, balance. And you need your mat. I'm doing it on my mat just because I don't have a lot of space, but you can do it without your mat. And with socks, it'd probably be even easier. All right, mashed potatoes. Who remembers mashed potatoes? It's a little before my time, I'm going to admit, but so bringing the arms up, the elbows up, feet are about hip width apart. When I bring my elbows down, I'm going to click my heels together, then open, closed. I'm bending my knees a little bit because I think that's easier. But we're rotating, working on the ankles, on the feet, and on the toe strength. And if you put some music on, you can have some fun with it. All right, and one more. What's the other one? Okay. I think that's pretty much it. The jumps and the parallel, that's it. Okay, so let's sit down on our mat, lay down, spread your legs out and your arms out like a star, 5-pointed star. And before you do that, let's roll that skin on your hips down so that your small of your back is closer to the mat and you're rolling that hip bone and bottom of your rib cage together so we're not arching our ribs out. If it is available to you, lift the right arm, left toe, and touch. Then other opposite arm and opposite toe and touch. Now, if this is too strong, you can bend the knee and just touch the knee. Important thing is to make sure you're engaging your core and feel it in your core. And keeping from jutting your rib cage forward so that we don't stress the back. So just some star crunches. Do 5 or 6 on either side or whatever feels comfortable to you. All right. Bringing your feet close to your hips, your knees bent. You're going to bring the feet up over your body. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left leg. If I can, I'm going to hook that toe behind. So we're coming into sort of what we call eagle crunches. Now, when you're doing this, it's important to stay on the small of your back. If you can't stay on the small of your back, then just cross your legs and make sure that you can stay in that position. Now, with eagle, whatever leg is on top, you take the other arm and cross it around. Now, if you can't get the arms together, you can also just do prayer arms like this. If you need to put a brick under your head to support, feel free to do that as well. Because what we're going to do is we're then going to, I'll do the one with the prayer arms. We're going to bring the elbows and the knees together. You don't have to lift the head. And if you have neck issues, maybe don't. These are strong. Just play with them a bit. I'm not exactly touching my elbows to my knees. I don't have to. I can feel the working going on. But keep that small of the back close to the floor. Maybe one more. And then release, gently shake everything out. Now we're going to do the other side. Put the other leg over the other one. Hook your toe if it's available to you. Get those knees up. Make sure you're on the small of your back. We're close to it. I have my left leg over, so I'm going to put my right arm over and do eagle arms this way. Again, and we're going to inhale, squeeze, and release. Inhale, crunch. Exhale. Inhale for 3, 4. Let's do 2 more. 5. Very strong. 6. And release slowly. Untangle yourself. Bring your hips down to the floor. Maybe press your hips up, press into your feet and give your hips a little shimmy here. Maybe some windshield wipers if you'd like. Maybe taking the knees in your hands and just doing some circles and loops. And when you're ready, let's extend the legs and come into our Shavasana. Hands by our side, relaxed. Make sure you relax the head, roll your head from side to side. Soften the jaw, maybe space between your teeth. Check your feet that they're nice and loose and relaxed. Come back to the breath. Just breathe naturally on your own. Enjoy this quiet meditative state. Slowly coming back to the awareness of your breath. Wiggling your toes and your fingers a little bit. Rolling your head from side to side. If you'd like, take a nice stretch. And bring your knees in towards your body, rolling over onto your side. Taking a moment here, eyes closed, couple breaths. When you're ready, press yourself up to sitting. Keep your eyes closed. Hands at your heart, coming back to the intention if you set one at class today, filling it with the loving kindness of your practice, of your heart, and seeing it manifest, sending it out into the world. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope you have a lovely week. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you have a wonderful week. Any comments or things you'd like to talk about, please let me know. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the program and the library. And I'll be in touch soon about the summer program. And have a wonderful week. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.